Um, this video is about vanity. I won't post it to Facebook because it's too embarrassing for me. But it's really been bothering me. I'm 78. I've been ill since I'm 6 years old. And I won't go into a long story. I've survived a Holocaust. I've done research into diets for disease control, and I've reversed brain damage, not just me, but in several people. But I was never able to get published because I made the mistake of listening to my mother and returning from New York, and I'm not going to go into that. That's all in my biography. But vanity. I can't face a mirror looking as I really look. I wear colored glasses and create fashion to look nice all the time. I was gifted with a beautiful body, perfect model, perfect measurements for a model. I was 5'8", and in 1940, 50, 54, 55, I was pretty tall. And my mother had me in model training around the age of 13, I think. It's like a dream, but I do remember very clearly those classes and walking with the books on my head and learning to keep my feet straight and learning to develop a proper walk. My mother was so unbelievably vain that living in violence was okay as long as we all look good. She was so vain that as long as I helped to keep her alive, she wouldn't lift a finger to help me help her. She didn't live in any kind of reality. Everything was about clothes, fashion, pretty, and looking good. And it did a real number on me. And I'm not saying that being beautiful doesn't help. Yeah, it got my foot in the door, and I was severely handicapped, and I managed to work for 23 years until doctors abandoned me. Because I have a disease that, like COVID-19, has no treatment and no cure. But what's worse is it didn't have any legal recognition either. Many, many years I went to New York, and I had the opportunity of a lifetime. A very wealthy lawyer was going to publish my story. And it isn't about being rich and famous. It's about that I could have saved millions of children from my disease. But unfortunately, there's nothing I could do. I lost my voice at the age of 12. I was a singer. I was headed for Broadway as a dancer. I was extremely gifted and extremely talented and a friggin' genius in too many ways to count. But unless I looked beautiful, I wasn't worth anything. Unless I made money, I wasn't worth anything. Now, I'm going to die from COVID-19. I have no way of fighting that off. I've fought off many viruses. A simple cold virus turns to lung infection. I've been 3 days in bed because I went outside for 30 minutes in the forest, way out in the wilderness, and the spring allergies have made me so sick I can barely talk. I've got semi-laryngitis in it, you know. Anyway, I was so blessed, aside from the Holocaust that I endured. But I had this beauty. And 6 years ago, a tumor destroyed my body. Instead of having that perfect flat belly that I had, I still don't wear a bra. I like my boobs just the way they are. I can't get any of my clothes, hardly any of my clothes. What difference does it make? I'm going to die anyway. I've already taken all the steps necessary, my will, cremation, my money, everything is arranged with my bank manager, my partner. I've left files with a list of what he should do. Extremely organized. I could go in 2 minutes flat and I'm fine. Everything's taken care of. All my diet for disease control is on YouTube. Facebook will last a little longer after my death, and I've uploaded everything there. Google Docs Drive has my biography. I couldn't figure out a way to put that on YouTube, so I did a video, but it's not quite the same as my printed biography, which is about 280 pages. But anyway, it's perfect. Hopefully someday a tech geek will discover it and publish it. But in the meantime, I can't help it. I keep eating chips and chocolates, and I can't follow my diet. I'm torn in half between the will to be beautiful and get rid of that 15 pounds of excess fat, or just stuff myself and enjoy. And it's vanity, and it's just so programmed into me. And it's sad what we do to children, because I'm sorry, 80% of the women on the planet don't even have a day in their life when they're as beautiful as I was. And you'd think that was enough. I had it till I was 72. And now, because I'm not perfect, I struggle. I really struggle with it. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about it because it's so embarrassing. I'm so ashamed, and I feel so guilty because even though I was so ill and I suffered such brutality, I had this lovely body. And now, because I don't have it, I feel terrible. And I can't offer any advice to anybody who's been raised that way, except if you're a parent, please don't do that to your child. She wrecked my life in so many ways, my mother. As violent as my father was, I could see that coming at me, and I knew what I was dealing with. But my mother, it was like coming from behind, and I never saw it coming, and I could never be prepared, and I never knew what was going to happen next, because she was so psychotic. He was a sociopath. He was also vain. The only time I was worth anything to him is if I was wealthy, in the media, and beautiful, and could dance. But yeah, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, it's just so embarrassing. I wish I could just feel comfortable with the way I am. A year from now, I'm not going to be alive anyway. What difference does it make? It's so stupid. But I think I have the right to eat the chips and the chocolate. It's not making me any sicker than I am anyway. And I've got nowhere to go. So, yeah. Vanity. Don't do that to your children. And I pray that a vaccine is found soon. Not for me, because I don't care about that kind of life, truthfully. But that society learns something and prepares for the next pandemic and stops places like China from creating it. Because yes, China created it. Because they let their people starve. And I have a page called COVID News on Facebook. And all that information is available. But vanity, 'tis my enemy. God bless, and over and out.